a scientist in water. She had traveled all around the world studying the water sources in many countries all the way to Japan. And she put out a video that had this title, "Water, water, everywhere, but not a drop to drink." And that is one of the major problems that's before the United Nations right now, is the water shortage. The waters that are contaminated, that are destroying villages of indigenous people in our homeland of Africa. Throughout the world, there is a steady stream of a drought. The cutting away of the timber, cutting away our oxygen source, so that lands that were verdant and agriculturally rich are turning into sand and weed. And then on top of that, we have war that is desecrating our planet and destroying the indigenous people all around the world. So we, as mothers and fathers and brothers and sisters and children, it is as if we're seeing a kaleidoscope of events, looking through one of those magical things that gives you different forms, pictures of what is going on. But yet, we remain unconscious. We hear the word, we love the word, but then it's like it's falling on dead ears. Because once after we hear the word, we go right back to sleep and are not activists in our community. We are messengers too. We are held responsible for knowing and then disseminating that knowledge to get to our young people that are dying in the streets, getting to our elderly who are being mobbed and beaten. And so we just read a kaleidoscope. Wow, another murder somewhere, another statistic, another killing going on inside of families as well as outside. There was reported just this morning in a place called Moscow, Iowa, that there was another terrible murder that took place that killed a whole family, almost wiped out, I think, an entire family. And every single day we're hearing something. The West Virginia incident, a so-called insane Asian who could not stand the frequency and vibration of this society. So when many immigrants come to this country, come to this land, they think that they're getting a break and they're coming to the land of the free, and that they can make a quick buck, yeah, and send it home. But in the process, they become contaminated in the same environment that we have had to live for over 400 years. Nobody knows our pain, but they're always telling us their pain. It's as if we don't exist. That is true. So what are we going to do to make a difference? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, taught by the greatest master that has ever been born on the planet Earth for thousands and millions and trillions of years, came to our rescue because none of the other scientists and masters wanted to deal with us. They said we were too spoiled. Too spoiled? What does that mean? Spoiled, made rotten by the dominant rule of the present civilization. And we are the victims. And until we can move with the word and make a motion and begin to become a live community, we will be destroyed along with our open enemy in a lake of fire. This morning, as I was thinking over what I was going to share out of, you see my notebook? It's back and front and back. Because in the course of my daily studies, information begins to come through as a result of the intense study of the words and teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I thought, what would be the message to our brothers and sisters in Dayton, Ohio, that is located not so much as the big life city, but a small country town. Well, it's a small country town where the military presence and secret operations of the United States government would do their work. And in this process, we noted blackouts. Yesterday, our whole hotel was under a surge. A transmitter or something, a transformer, I think, blew. And we wanted to know, how often does this happen? And when you're driving down highways or on the streets in several particular areas, you lose power for your cell phones and other things. Because the military secrets of the United States government involves preparation for fighting what they call UFOs. And in their denial, they are telling us what is evidently the truth. We spoke with a representative yesterday as we toured the museum of the Wright-Patterson operations, and we learned that that is the oldest established museum on military craft that produced from the beginning of the Wright brothers bomber planes. That was the beginning in 1909. And from 1909, the museum of this aeronautic and experimental lab has been studying all of the advanced military armament that has been used since that time to World War I, to World War II, and imagine what they're planning for Armageddon, which is the subject that the Honorable Louis Farrakhan has shared, along with every other week or so, a warning. As he did in the last webcast, he said, come out of her, my people, and be not partakers of her sins and her plagues. Because the objective of Satan's world is to make us so dumb, like he called us dumb devils, that they have produced and manufactured us over 400 years of brainwashing, until we make a little progress, we think, in politics, or we can point to a counselor, we can point to a mayor, we can point to a governor, we can point to a senator, congressman, and we think we're making progress. And what he's doing, he's like the spider, weaving a web and sucking us in, so that when we get into his spider's web, it's so sticky that you can't get out. And then the spider goes to work, and he attacks you and pierces you, right? And then you're hanging in that thing, dead. But when warners are raised to put us back on track, what do? We deny their messages. We reject their messages, even though we can see that they're doing the same work of servants of God that came in the past, from Abraham all the way down to Zacharias, all the way down to the last prophet that was sent, Jesus. And out of that melee of self-denial, self-rejection, self-hate, we don't know, nor do we believe that God loves us.